Welcome to today's video between 1988 and 1995. A series of crime-filled emotional films created unforgettable characters, but behind the camera was a darker truth no one ever talked about. Several beloved stars carried painful secrets, battled hidden struggles, and some even faced tragic, unexpected fates that shocked the industry. What really happened to the actors who built this legacy today? We pull back the curtain to reveal the stories Hollywood never told. If you're ready to uncover the truth, drop 1 in the comments and hit subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive. Born on August 2nd, 1924, Carroll O'Connor portrayed Police Chief William O. Gillespie in the Heat of the Night starting in 1988 at the age of 64. Gillespie was a complex character, a tough police chief with a deeply principled nature constantly battling the community's prejudices. However, in real life, Carroll O'Connor had a very different story. His legacy was overshadowed by personal tragedies. O'Connor's son, Hugh O'Connor, struggled with addiction for many years. After years of struggling with substance abuse, Hugh tragically took his own life in 1995. This heartbreaking loss led O'Connor to speak out publicly against drug abuse, although the emotional scars were undeniable. Despite this, he was known for his perfectionism, which sometimes led to conflicts with colleagues. Nevertheless, his outstanding acting skills earned him great respect from both peers and audiences. However, O'Connor's internal struggles with anger and controlling behavior often created tensions behind the scenes. His perfectionist nature and bouts of anger led to several conflicts at work. Carroll O'Connor passed away on June 21, 2001 from a heart attack at the age of 76. He left behind a legacy of incredible performances and a family grief that never fully healed. In remembering the stars we've lost, we don't just reflect on their artistic contributions, but also on the human stories behind the spotlight. These actors' careers connected with audiences not only through their roles, but also through the emotional, challenging lives they lived. Howard E. Rollins Jr., a talented actor who faced personal struggles. Born on October 17, 1950, Howard E. Rollins Jr. was cast as Detective Virgil Tibbs in the Heat of the Night in 1988 at the age of 38. Virgil Tibbs was a smart and sharp detective, but his progressive stance often led to conflicts with others, reflecting the real-life struggles Rollins himself faced. His career was filled with promising moments, but it was overshadowed by personal challenges that he had to overcome. Years of struggling with substance abuse often overshadowed Howard E. Rollins's talent with legal troubles and erratic behavior, including being arrested for driving under the influence and multiple stints in rehab. These personal issues also had a significant impact on his relationships, including a highly publicized divorce. In the 1990s, Rollins's career began to stagnate as health problems related to lymphoma, a disease linked to AIDS, started to take their toll. Despite facing many challenges, Rollins's acting remained impressive, with his talent still shining through during his most difficult times. The role of Virgil Tibbs in the Heat of the Night was not only a pivotal moment in Howard E. Rollins's career, but also became one of the defining roles that solidified his reputation. However, Howard E. Rollins's life was tragically cut short. He passed away on December 8, 1996, at the age of 46, leaving behind a legacy of raw talent but also deep, unhealed emotional scars. His passing was a great loss to the film industry, and we can only imagine what he could have achieved if he hadn't faced the internal struggles and health challenges that cut his career and life short. Hugh O'Connor, born on April 7, 1962, became known for his role as Lieutenant Lonnie Jameson in the Heat of the Night starting in 1988 when he was just 26. Lonnie Jameson was a steadfast moral officer, often the voice of reason amidst the chaos of the police department, a symbol of integrity and courage. However, in real life, Hugh O'Connor's story was the complete opposite of the character he portrayed. He struggled with addiction and pain, battling internal demons stemming from drug abuse, which relentlessly tormented both his career and his personal relationships. As time passed, Hugh O'Connor found it increasingly difficult to escape the dark world he had created for himself. Despite being at the height of his career, his battle with drug addiction led to numerous failed attempts at rehabilitation, leaving many to view him as a tortured soul who never truly found peace. His tragic suicide in 1995, a result of the combination of addiction and despair, cast a dark shadow over his brief acting career. Hugh O'Connor's death was not only a great loss to his family and friends, but also a shock to the film industry. People couldn't help but wonder how Hugh O'Connor's immense potential had been wasted. Especially poignant was the loss of Hugh, as it was deeply tied to the pain of his father Carroll O'Connor, a beloved figure in the Heat of the Night. This only deepened the tragic cycle that had shaped Hugh's life. Hugh O'Connor passed away on March 28, 1995, at the age of 32. A bright talent tortured by his inner struggles, his passing left a significant void not only in the hearts of those who loved him, but also in the film industry. Carl Weathers, born on January 14, 1948, left a lasting impression on audiences with his role as Police Chief Hampton Forbes in The Heat of the Night, starting in 1993 at the age of 45. As Forbes, Weathers portrayed a commanding figure bringing the necessary strength and charisma to the police force. However, Carl Weathers' real life was far from as glamorous. Despite being famous for iconic roles in Rocky and Predator, Weathers' career has been filled with challenges, particularly in balancing work and personal life. Multiple divorces and turbulent relationships became public, creating the image of a man struggling with the pressures of fame and career. Behind his successes on screen, Weathers was often described as difficult to work with, always cautious and suspicious of those around him. In addition to personal relationship issues, he also faced immense career pressure and serious health problems, particularly heart disease. His failed marriages and ongoing conflicts with colleagues only added to the insecurity in his life. On February 2, 2024, Carl Weathers passed away at the age of 76 from arteriosclerotic heart disease. Though his life was filled with challenges, his career remains a solid legacy in the film industry. Bob Penny, born on June 29, 1935, made his mark with the role of Alvin P. Epen in The Heat of the Night in 1990 at the age of 55. EP was an eccentric and charming character, providing a soothing contrast to the film's tense atmosphere. However, Bob Penny's career was not without its personal struggles and challenges. Behind the public persona of a friendly, approachable figure, Penny struggled with alcohol addiction for many years. Though he remained private about his personal life, those close to him revealed that he often had difficulties maintaining relationships both personally and professionally. Penny was particularly difficult on set, often missing rehearsals and showing up to work under less than ideal conditions. Eventually, he chose to step away from Hollywood and transition to teaching drama, seeking solace in a quieter life. Bob Penny passed away on December 25, 2022, at the age of 87, marking the end of a long journey filled with solitude and the inner demons he struggled with throughout his career. Despite this, his legacy is remembered through his memorable performances and the untold stories of a life marked by turbulence. Lois Nettleton, born on August 16, 1927 portrayed Joanne St. John in the Heat of the Night, starting in 1988 when she was 61 years old. In the role of Joanne, Nettleton brought warmth and depth to the film, frequently offering support and empathy to the characters around her. However, Nettleton's private life was a different story, one that contrasted sharply with her on-screen image. Married to writer Jean Shepherd, her marriage ended in a highly publicized divorce, marking the beginning of personal struggles she would face for the rest of her life. Known for her turbulent relationships, Nettleton often played characters who embodied suffering souls, women who fought against pain and loneliness. Hugh O'Connor, much like Lois Nettleton, reflected the struggles of her own life. The final years of Lois Nettleton's life were overshadowed by her battle with lung cancer, a disease she kept largely private. However, this illness was only the culmination of years of personal pain. Her life was marked by emotional scars, and her ability to portray complex, emotionally rich characters on screen was a reflection of the deep wounds she carried within. Lois Nettleton passed away on January 18, 2008 at the age of 80. She left behind a remarkable career with exceptional performances, but her personal life was filled with scars, silent wounds from lost love and pain that would never fully heal. Dennis Lipscomb, born on March 1, 1942, began portraying Mayor Jim Finley in The Heat of the Night in 1988 at the age of 46. His character, a pragmatic politician, often faced morally difficult situations, reflecting the complexity of his real-life personality. While his early career showed promise, Lipscomb's personal life took a darker turn after the show ended. Despite his marriage appearing solid, it was reportedly full of secrets. There were rumors of an affair with a co-star, although the details have never been confirmed. Lipscomb's private life also included late-night partying and a lifestyle far removed from the on-screen image of a dignified politician. He became increasingly known as difficult to work with. In particular, his growing problem with alcohol led to frequent absences from filming and public events. Despite a promising career, his personal scandals caused his professional life to decline, and new opportunities became almost non-existent. His life stands as a testament to the struggle between career and personal difficulties that not everyone can overcome. Dennis Lipscomb passed away on July 30, 2014, at the age of 72 due to natural causes. His death led many to reflect on what might have been if his personal struggles hadn't caused his downfall. Margaret Blye, born on October 24, 1939, played the role of the girlfriend of Police Chief Gillespie in The Heat of the Night in 1988 at the age of 49. With her warm personality and constant support, Blye became a source of comfort for Gillespie, helping him navigate the emotional challenges in his life. However, in real life, Blye's personal struggles did not receive the same kind of support. She was known for having turbulent, romantic relationships, leading to a highly publicized divorce in the early 1970s. As a strong and independent woman, Blye faced criticism for her inability to maintain long-term relationships, often seen as a reflection of the personal battles she faced. Her career faced many challenges as many casting directors found her unpredictable and difficult to read. Behind the scenes, Blye struggled with depression and prescription drug addiction, which was believed to have threatened her career. Despite staying away from the media and tabloids, the truth about her inner demons was exposed when she passed away from cancer on March 24, 2016, at the age of 76. Blye left behind a complex acting legacy with deeply nuanced roles, but her personal life remains a mystery that few dared to explore deeply. If you find Blye's story thought-provoking, leave a 1 in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on future videos. Mel Stewart, born on September 19, 1929, portrayed Calvin Peterson in the Heat of the Night in 1990 at the age of 61. Peterson was a seasoned officer who maintained a guiding intellect in a town full of turmoil. However, Mel Stewart's real life was far more turbulent. A reclusive man, Stewart struggled with the pressures of his work, and his career never quite reached the heights many had predicted. His family life was also fraught with tension, marked by prolonged and heated arguments with his children. His children later described him as emotionally distant, highlighting the emotional divide that existed between him and his family. He was often ruthless in his approach to parenting. In addition, his struggle with alcoholism, which had been kept hidden throughout his career, became more severe in his later years. Stewart was known for his short temper, both with his family and colleagues, making it difficult for anyone to approach him for help. Mel Stewart passed away on February 24, 2002, at the age of 72, after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease. His death left many with a sense of regret, as those closest to him often spoke of missed opportunities and untapped potential. Had he not been weighed down by his inner demons, he may have achieved much more in his life. Ted Manson, born on October 23, 1926, portrayed Elmer in the Heat of the Night, starting in 1989 at the age of 63. Elmer was a likable, eccentric character, but Manson's personal life was far from as pleasant. Known for his strong work ethic, Manson dedicated himself fully to his craft, yet faced significant challenges in his personal life, which was in stark contrast to the image he portrayed on screen. Manson was rumored to have gone through multiple failed marriages, with each relationship ending in strange circumstances and often explosive confrontations. Friends and colleagues recalled his erratic behavior, with his mood shifting rapidly from cheerful to melancholic. Manson gradually became isolated as his career declined, with rumors of his volatile behavior on set frequently clashing with fellow actors. Although never publicly acknowledged, his severe alcohol addiction and inability to maintain stable work led to Manson losing the public's attention. His death on June 1, 2008 at the age of 81 went largely unnoticed by the media. His passing was only marked by a few heartfelt tributes from former colleagues who could only reveal the darker side of his legacy. Fran Bennett, born on August 14, 1937, portrayed Aunt Rhoda Gibson in the Heat of the Night in 1990 at the age of 53. Aunt Rhoda was the epitome of wisdom and compassion, a reflection of Fran Bennett's own charm and grace in real life. However, behind her emotionally charged performances on screen, her personal life was filled with challenges. While Bennett's career was free from scandal, her private life was marked by turmoil. Her relationships were often unstable, with a series of brief marriages which seemed to mirror the ongoing inner struggles she faced. She struggled with increasingly severe depression in her later years, leading her to withdraw from the public eye and distance herself from friends. Additionally, Fran Bennett faced challenges due to addiction. She was known for being reclusive, with limited social interactions even among her peers. Although her death on September 12, 2021, at the age of 84, occurred mostly in peace, her life was marked by an ongoing inner struggle. The wisdom and pain of Aunt Rhoda, the character she portrayed on screen, were a clear reflection of the difficult life she lived. Chuck Hicks, born on December 26, 1927, portrayed Red Jack in the Heat of the Night in 1988 at the age of 61. Red Jack was a fierce and intimidating character, qualities that mirrored Hicks's real-life persona. Known primarily as a stuntman, Hicks built his reputation in Hollywood thanks to his strong physique and commanding presence. However, his life off-screen was far from smooth.
Hicks struggled with alcohol addiction for many years, which severely impacted his career and personal relationships. His reputation for being difficult to work with made him a controversial figure in Hollywood.
He was blacklisted from several major film projects due to his short temper and erratic behavior. Despite these obstacles, Chuck Hicks continued to work in the film industry, often portraying tough characters with little depth. He passed away on May 4th, 2021 at the age of 93 following a stroke. His legacy was marked by both physical strength and the inner demons he battled throughout his life. His final years were marked by reconciliation, but the struggles he faced earlier in life continued to cast a shadow over his legacy. Burgess Meredith, born on November 16, 1907, portrayed Judge Cully in the Heat of the Night in 1993 at the age of 86. Meredith was widely acclaimed for his iconic roles in Rocky and Batman. However, his real-life journey was filled with challenges and far from the heroic image he often portrayed on screen. A staunch liberal during the McCarthy era, Meredith was blacklisted and faced many years of career struggles due to his political views. His family life, particularly his marriage to his third wife, was also marked by infidelity and turmoil. Secrecy and constant tension marked his life. Despite achieving great success in his career, Meredith struggled with alcoholism and often found solace in his work, using it as a shield against his personal pain. His on-screen image as a teacher and moral authority contrasted sharply with the inner turmoil he endured. Burgess Meredith passed away on September 9, 1997, at the age of 89 after years of battling Alzheimer's disease and melanoma. He left behind a celebrated career, but also a legacy fraught with scandals, strained family relationships, and a complex personal history that was never fully resolved. Christopher Allport, born on June 17, 1947, portrayed District Attorney Dutton in The Dark Knight in 1989 at the age of 42. Dutton was a steadfast and principled prosecutor, a character vastly different from Allport's spontaneous real-life lifestyle. Allport's career seemed promising, but his personal choices and rebellious nature eventually led him to roles that didn't align with his initial potential. His passion for adventure led him to take part in risky activities like mountain climbing and skiing, further adding to the unpredictability of his life. However, this passion ultimately led to his tragic death when a devastating avalanche claimed his life on January 25, 2008 at the age of 60. Allport's personal life was also marked by turmoil. His marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and his relationship with his children became strained. While he was admired for his acting, it was his relentless pursuit of thrills that ultimately led to his untimely demise, leaving behind a career overshadowed by his constant quest for excitement and personal escape.
Andy Romano, born on April 16, 1936, played Officer Charles Ryan in The Heat of the Night in 1990 at the age of 54. Ryan was a reliable and disciplined officer, a character that stood in contrast to the more flamboyant roles in the film. Romano's career was marked by his ability to portray authoritative figures, and he appeared in several films such as Under Siege and Major League. However, his journey to fame was not an easy one. Despite frequently appearing in films and television, Romano was often relegated to supporting roles overshadowed by bigger stars. His personal life was fraught with struggles, adding a layer of complexity to his career.
This included a prolonged battle with alcoholism, which had a significant impact on his career. His dedication to work led to his isolation, and he became known for being strict and difficult to work with, sometimes causing colleagues and film crews to distance themselves. Romano's inner demons haunted him throughout his career, often rendering many of his performances lackluster. His behavior occasionally became a burden both for himself and those around him. Andy Romano passed away on September 14, 2022 at the age of 86, leaving behind a career full of potential but also marked by regret due to the personal struggles he couldn't overcome. Pat Hingle, born on July 19, 1924, portrayed Daddy Roy Oversall in the Heat of the Night in 1993 at the age of 69. Oversall was a stern and tough character reflecting Hingle's calm demeanor both in his career and personal life. However, his real life was far from simple. In the 1950s, Hingle survived a near-fatal car accident, leaving him with lifelong injuries and requiring numerous surgeries. His struggles with alcoholism and a tumultuous personal life, including multiple marriages and strained relationships with his children, became widely known within the industry. Hingle was known for being difficult on set, with many colleagues finding him hard to work with due to his stern attitude and erratic behavior. Although his acting career continued despite these challenges, he was never able to fully reconcile his public image with his personal struggles. Pat Hingle passed away on January 3, 2009, at the age of 84 due to myopathy. His legacy is a combination of physical strength and unresolved conflicts in his life, creating a complex image of a strong man, yet one deeply burdened by pain. Franklin Cover, born on November 20, 1928, portrayed Tommy Vincent in the Heat of the Night starting in 1991 at the age of 63. His character, a kind-hearted and gentle man, was far removed from Cover's own experiences in Hollywood. Although beloved for his friendly image on screen, his career began to decline after his breakout role in The Jeffersons. In his personal life, Cover was surrounded by rumors of extravagant spending and mounting debts due to his lavish lifestyle. As he grew older, his financial difficulties worsened and he became embroiled in a series of lawsuits related to contract breaches. In addition, he was accused of being a difficult, stubborn, and eccentric actor on set, which strained his relationships with co-stars. Franklin Cover became known for distancing himself from his fellow actors, viewed as a relic of a bygone era. Unable to adapt to the modern entertainment landscape, he continued to struggle with personal battles of loneliness and health issues. His declining career, coupled with personal difficulties, gradually affected his public image. Franklin Cover passed away on February 5, 2006 at the age of 77, leaving behind a final impression of both comedic talent and a tragic financial collapse. Bobby Short, born on September 15, 1924, portrayed Cheese Collins in the Heat of the Night, starting in 1991 at the age of 67. Collins was a talented and charming musician, playing a significant role in the rich cultural backdrop of the series. Bobby Short's career was marked by his dedication to the Great American Songbook and his legendary performances at Café Carlyle in New York. However, behind his glamorous public persona, Short's life was not without controversy. His romantic relationships, often with younger men, stirred gossip within New York's elite circles. His personal life was a complex web of secrets filled with rumors of romantic affairs and a deep fondness for a lavish yet lonely lifestyle. Short was known for his perfectionism, and his personal and professional demeanor sometimes alienated his colleagues. Bobby Short's life became further complicated by health issues and the bitterness of being overlooked by mainstream music recognition. His later years were marked by a reclusive existence and the decline of his health, with his public recognition steadily fading. Bobby Short passed away on March 21, 2005 at the age of 80. Leaving behind a legendary musical legacy, but also a bittersweet legacy shaped by unresolved personal struggles. Bruce Kirby, born on April 28, 1925, portrayed Deputy Sheriff Harlan Cassidy in the Heat of the Night, starting in 1990 at the age of 65. Cassidy was an authoritative and straightforward character, bringing order to the chaotic world of the series. In real life, Kirby's career was long and diverse, but behind the scenes, his professional life was often affected by difficulties in securing prominent roles. Despite memorable performances in Columbo and Crash, Kirby frequently found himself cast in supporting roles, and at times it was believed that he was pushed aside in favor of younger stars. His personal life was also marked by disappointments with a series of failed relationships and rumors of conflicts with co-stars. At one point, Kirby was believed to be quite difficult on set, known for his sharp tongue and perfectionist tendencies, which led to tensions with directors. In his later years, he lived reclusively, staying away from the spotlight. Bruce Kirby passed away on January 24, 2021, at the age of 95, quietly stepping away from the public eye, leaving behind a career filled with effort and challenges that few could fully understand. Rosemary Murphy, born on January 13, 1925, portrayed Joanna Allen in the Heat of the Night, starting in 1993 at the age of 68. Her character Joanna Allen was depicted as refined and intelligent, but Murphy's private life was quite different from the calm image she portrayed on screen. Known for her distinguished stage work, Murphy had long been the subject of rumors regarding her ability to maintain personal relationships. A series of failed marriages and a scandalous affair with a younger co-star cast a shadow over her reputation. Although Murphy's career was celebrated, she also faced whispers about the behavior of a newcomer actress. Colleagues mentioned her arrogance, which often overshadowed her significant talent. Over the years, Murphy struggled with public perception, especially as her personal life continued to unravel. Despite her respected artistic legacy, she rarely managed to regain the career heights she once achieved. Rosemary Murphy passed away on July 5, 2014, at the age of 89, but her life never fully lived up to the success that many of her fans imagined. David Healey, born on May 15, 1929, joined in the Heat of the Night in 1993 at the age of 64, portraying Arb Gentry, a character who was loyal, dedicated, and hardworking. However, Healey's role reflected a life quite different from the challenges and personal difficulties he faced, which did not align with his public reputation. His career was marked by roles in Labyrinth and Superman 2, but it was also filled with controversies and scandals. Behind the scenes, Healey was known for his volatile temper, frequently clashing with directors and co-stars. Jeffrey Lewis, born on July 31, 1935, is best known for his role as Captain Brad Jenkins in the Heat of the Night, starting in 1990 at the age of 55. His character was a seasoned, tough officer, but in reality, Lewis's personal life and career were also fraught with challenges. Despite a successful career with films such as High Plains Drifter and The Devil's Rejects, Lewis struggled with his own inner demons. His personal life was marked by a series of failed marriages, creating a conflict with the public image he had cultivated. Addiction was an issue that Lewis tried to hide, but rumors about his alcoholism and early difficult behavior could not be ignored. In his later years, he was haunted by loneliness and illness. Those close to him revealed that he had become bitter and lost faith in the industry that had once embraced him. Jeffrey Lewis passed away quietly on April 7, 2015, at the age of 79. His death went largely unnoticed, and many of those who had worked with him recognized the complex, sometimes tragic person who remained largely misunderstood. Alan Arbus, born on February 15, 1918, joined in the heat of the night in 1992 at the age of 74, portraying Dr. Atwell, a kind and calm presence amidst chaos. However, Arbus's real-life story told a different tale. A veteran actor, Arbus was known for his roles in MASH and Coffee, but his later years were marked by struggles with mental health issues, which he largely kept private. Arbus also had a difficult relationship with his children, which added complexity to his personal life. Those who were close to him often had to deal with his severe mood swings and erratic behavior. Arbus was believed to have struggled with deep depression and anxiety, which he tried to mask with humor and charm. His personal life became a source of isolation as his co-stars noticed how distant he had become in the final years of his career. Despite a highly successful career, his declining mental state and personal turmoil made his later years far less glamorous. Alan Arbus passed away on April 19, 2013, at the age of 95, quietly stepping away from the public eye. His legacy is not just defined by impressive roles, but also by the story of a man who showed resilience in the face of significant personal struggles. Alan Arbus faced great challenges in his personal life despite his successful career. Have you ever felt that personal struggles have impacted your work? Leave a 1 if you've experienced this and a 0 if you haven't. Don't forget to hit subscribe to support the channel and continue exploring more fascinating stories like this one. Enjoy the video.